This morning in our series, Coronavirus in the Classroom, a group of high schoolers from Denver who took part in a life-changing field trip to Washington, D.C.
Yes, and they returned home with a purpose, and not even a pandemic could slow them down. Take a look.
I wanted them to see all of the remarkable pride and strides that we had made as a race.
In October of 2019, Kimberly Grayson, principal of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Early College, took 17 students to Washington, D.C. They visited monuments and colleges, but the biggest impact was the National Museum of African American History and Culture.
We started looking around and it just got really quiet. Like all the conversations and everything just stopped and everybody was just looking at all the exhibits, and it was really emotional and overwhelming.
Why do you think it was so overwhelming?
Just because of the fact that I had never seen anything like that before.
High schoolers Janelle Nanga, Alana Mitchell, Kalia Yazar, and Donnie Austin were all moved by what they saw.
With the history that Black students are being taught about themselves, it's usually in a negative light. There are so many other aspects of Black history that are so empowering that could really just change your whole perspective.
I learned about my history. I think I learned who I am and who I should be and who I want to be. But I think that it's sad that we all have to travel miles and miles away to learn our history.
It was a sentiment they all shared, that African American history was lacking in their school.
A few students said, "Grayson, you are our leader and you are a Black woman. Why haven't you advocated for more Black representation at our school?" And I promised them that going forward, things would change.
The very next morning, we presented to the staff at the school and the DPS school board.
My Blackness does define me, and I'm not ashamed to say so.
I remember being super nervous. This is so important to every single one of us, and we really wanted our voices to be heard.
And what were you asking these adults to do? What change were you seeking?
We wanted for other people to be able to have that same experience that we had and feel what we felt when we saw those things that we did see at the museum.
Afterwards, the deputy superintendent of academics found me, and she stated that it has become her mission to make sure that we make that change that the students asked for.
Meanwhile, the students had another ask, this time for their teachers.
We actually asked them to go to the Black History Museum, and a couple weeks later they actually did. When they came back, I definitely did notice a lot more Black literature, and I did notice a lot more inclusion, so I really do appreciate that.
Not even a global pandemic could stop their progress. How did COVID affect your plans and what you guys were planning to do?
I honestly feel like COVID or not, we still would have been moving on with this. And while it has been a roadblock, I honestly feel like it's just motivated us even more to get what we need to do even faster.
Black Lives Matter! Black Lives Matter!
And with the death of George Floyd, the students felt called to act again.
Welcome to
MLK's The Tape.
This time through a podcast titled No Justice, No Peace.
The things that they are doing right now is going to impact the world for my 11-year-old daughter and for children that are coming up today.
I truly do believe that education is liberation. And I'm doing things that I never thought I could do. And it's all based off of this one trip where I learned about myself. So I want other people to know, this can happen for you. You can create these changes, and this could be you too.
I really enjoyed talking with those young ladies. One more change that is coming out of their trip to D.C. is a $30,000 museum that will be established on campus.
Fantastic.
And while in D.C., they also visited Howard University. So now they're all excited. They all want to go there. They want to be roommates, But it was just so good for them. And as you can see, it was truly a life-changing experience for all of them. When I finished that Zoom interview, I got up and I thought, wow, that was really impressive. And kudos to their parents and teachers, by the way, for listening to them and then taking action. And and on an education note, let me mention tomorrow afternoon, Craig, Jenna, and I, we're all taking part in a coronavirus in the classroom town hall. And you can watch it on today.com/allday or streaming on Peacock. Some really good conversations in that town hall.